Hey everyone, so you'll have to forgive the um, sound to this video because it's funny. I am standing here in my garage. This is what my garage looks like. It just is. Because I do so much estate cleanout work and processing of stuff and stuff. It just is what it is for me. So my garage is a little bit different. I've even got some artwork that I bought at an auction house here in my garage. It's funny because the one thing that I do collect is, and I'm building out a collection of these, is I collect the steel Ertl Napa trucks because it reminds me of the delivery vehicles we had back in the day when I was growing up. And I like the ones that have been played with, not the ones in the box. And they also put stickers on different for the different Napa stores. So like Parts Unlimited, Wheaton, Minnesota. So I bought this truck. I think it was like $6-7 in auction, whatever. And I've got far more of these inside the house, but here's Owens Supply from wherever 20 West Rosner Road is in the United States. This is the, I forget exactly. This is, I think, the older one, and this is the newer one. But that's what I collect. And when I find them, they're hard to find, but whenever I can find them for a reasonable price, under $20 a piece, I'll buy them. At some point in time, I'll have a whole shelf of them in my newly refurbished office. Hopefully I can get to the newly refurbished office this year sometime. Might end up happening, but so here I am in my garage. The reason I'm in my garage is my spouse is in laying down. School starts tomorrow. I'm married to a teacher, for those of you that do not know. And so I wanted to not project my voice while there's nap time going on inside my house. So I came out here to the garage, taped this to the wall. This is my life's work. This is my life's work. And I'm going to run video after video after video after video after video after video of that this week. Because you as a home seller need to know this. You're wasting, in this case, $13,000. Think about that. $13,000 is what you're leaving on the table when you hire a realtor that only pays a 2.0% competing realtor commission if they're not doing anything else for you. They're just listing it on the MLS. And that will take, you'll lose $13,000 because of who you're hiring. Degrees and designations in mathematics, in real estate matter. I would fire a realtor that came into my house and said, hey, we should just pay a 2%. I'm going to take 3% for the listing and I'm going to pay 2%. I would fire that realtor. I would say to that realtor, please exit my house now. I've decided not to work with you. It's that simple. I'm going to call a different realtor. It's okay. And there's great big teams. Well, not a great big team. There's a small team that's very successful that does this all the time. They pay themselves 3%. They pay me 2%, and you only get $16,000. When I drive around a buyer, on that rare chance that I'm working with a buyer, I don't really work with very many buyers, but I show them all the 2% competing realtor commission listings. I show them all because they're going to pay less for that house than they would for a 2.5% competing realtor commission. So I show them all the twos. Unless they happen to want to see a 2.5 and pay me a little bit more. Okay, great, that would be wonderful. But they're going to pay more for that 2.5. And I point it out to them because they need to know I have a fiduciary requirement to teach this. I have a degree in finance, which is pretty hard on math. I suck at math, to be honest with you, but I understand math all day long. the math that I need to understand, the math that applies to me, the math that applies to my profession, I understand. Ask me about stock market math and I can go on for hours, trust me, because it matters. You can find patterns in math. It matters. So here we have this week's 2.0 competing realtor sales. Only got 16,223 over. That's all they got. Now, yeah, it's nice if you had a $300,000 house to sell it for $316,000 or an $800,000 house to sell it for $816,223. That's nice. Your house still sold. But wouldn't it have been better if you had a realtor that listed your house at 2.5% competing realtor commission, all else being equal? And that you got $829,531 or $329,531? This stuff, I believe, matters. That's why I'm making it my life's work. My life's work, the rest of my life will be working to try to point out to as many people across Windsor-Essex County as humanly possible how much money they're leaving on the table when they choose to list their house, because you choose to list your house at 2.0% commission. You sign the final paperwork. And I'm going to show you on the form where you're making your mistake, so that hopefully those people that watch this video, if you don't sell with me, at least you're going to be able to make more money. And if by chance this video does not help you to say, oh my God, I want to call Brian, when I'm ready to sell my house, you might not be ready to sell your house for 4 or 5 years while you're watching this video. But at least by watching this video, you're going to be able to say, yeah, it was Brian Price that helped me to understand the game theory. This is game theory. That's what this is called. This is a college education video. We talk about game theory in finance. Game theory matters. Which would you prefer, $16,223 or would you prefer $29,531? I know that I would prefer $29,531. If I sold my house and I had $29,531 extra dollars, I could pay off my car that's sitting out in the driveway that I can't get into my garage. I only owe about $29,500 on it. I'll pay my car off with that extra money. If you had a child, that goes a long way to St. Clair College education, especially over time. This stuff matters so much. And yet this week, 39 people chose to list their house at 2.0% competing realtor commission. And 39 people said, yeah, just 16,223 is fine for me. I don't need any more. I don't aspire to any more. Just do what you possibly can do. And you guys make more money. The realtor made more money because the realtor up here probably paid themselves 3.0% commission and probably only paid me 2.0% commission, assuming I was working and bringing the offer as a buyer's agent. Stop doing that. 37 people. That was $13,000 difference by 37 people. That was over what? 370,000. That was about $440,000 this week alone in the city of Windsor that we just left on the table. Who cares? $440,000. Can you afford as a community to lose? What if we took that same $440,000 and we gave it to a local charity? Could we possibly fix or stop one overdose? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know what we could do with that money, but as a collective whole, we could sure do a hell of a lot with it. $440,000 is a hell of a lot of money. So let's stop this. So in the next videos, you're going to see a whole string of videos that will be all about stopping. And they're going to be titled Stop Number 1. And they're going to be titled Stop Number 2. And they're going to be titled Stop Number 3. And they're going to be titled Stop Number 4. And as I continue to build out this video program, the ones talking about competing realtor commissions will all be titled Stop. And they'll just have a number to them so that you'll know if you're thinking about selling 2 years from now and you come into my channel and review it. What was that one thing that Brian said that I wasn't supposed to do? I don't want to call him to list it. Jerry McGraw is going to list it. But I want to make sure that Jerry doesn't do this to me because I want to make sure I get all the money because I watched Brian's video. Okay, great. You're going to be able to go into YouTube and find Stop Number 77 just to remind you when you do get ready to sell your house, what not to do. Now, this is assuming something. This is assuming that the realtor's not doing extra work for you. Some realtors have a $1,400 package of marketing that they put in place. Well, those realtors, I'm sorry, that $1,400 package of real estate needs to be priced in somewhere into their total overhead. So they're probably going to take 3% for themselves and only pay 2%. I don't know exactly what they do. They shouldn't. They should shorten their marketing package down. Real estate, selling real estate is about the relationship that the realtors have with other realtors all across the city. It was the relationship was how, and it closes on the 6th. Little River. I sold a condo in Little River, and I got a massive sum of money for that condo. The highest number that's ever been sold in that whole development. Ever. The relationship that the realtor has with other realtors is what makes you the money. I sold a house over in Forest Glade. Not Forest Glade, off of Tecumseh Road, Fontainebleau. I like to say Fontainebleau the French way. In Fontainebleau, I sold a house in 6 days for $555,000 because of the relationship. And I only had 3 realtors through it. But one of the realtors I had a really good relationship with. So I called them up and I said, hey, thanks for seeing my house. We want to sell it. Here's what I need for it. I need a little bit over. And we really want to sell it fast. So if your client really, really liked it, please get back with them. And hey, if you really, really liked it, let's put together an offer for just a touch over asking price because we priced it where we want to sell it at. Give me $1,000 or $2 more. That would just be good for me to be able to go back to my client and say, look, here's what I got you. And we're all done. Sign here. It's those relationships in real estate that are the biggest thing. And if I have a good working relationship with you, then wouldn't it also seem like I would also have a good working relationships with other realtors? I'm constantly having coffee with realtors. I got this week, I've got coffee on Wednesday, and I've got coffee on Thursday with different realtors. One's out in Bell River and one's out in Leamington. Or not Leamington, Amherstburg, sorry, I get them mixed up all the time. And yeah, I'm gonna drive to Amherstburg to have coffee with this Amherstburg realtor because the relationship. She sells some houses, so next time I'm have an offer for her, or next time she brings me an offer, we're gonna have a relationship built up. We're gonna know each other. We're gonna be able to sit there and say, hey, how are you doing? There's another realtor that has a cooking show here in Windsor. I'm not going to mention her name. She's phenomenal. And she had been aspiring to eventually do a deal with me. And I had been aspiring to eventually do a deal with her. And we did a deal for the first time this year together after 9 years in the business together. But as soon as I had an offer for her, I called her up. Hey, she says, oh, Brian, this is going to be so much fun. I've been so wanting to do a deal with you. And I was the buyer's rep. And she was only paying a 2% commission, actually. And I went in and I was competing against other realtors. It was the day that I was going to the emergency room with those blood clots too, because I wasn't breathing right. And she said to me, she said, Brian, what's wrong with you? And I said, I don't know, but after this offer presentation, I'm going to the emergency room to try to find out. And she said, really? I'm like, yeah. She said, but you're not very healthy. I said, yeah, that's why I want to get this offer presentation done and get the heck out of here. She says, oh, you're first. So I went into the offer presentation and I said to the guy across from me who was selling the house exactly what was going on because the realtor had introduced me that way. And so I said to him, I said, I'm a retired truck driver and I spent 20 years behind the wheel and I've had 2 reconstructive open heart surgeries and there's something going on. So I just want to get this presentation done. Here's who my client is. Here's what my offer is. Here's where they're at and here's how fast we can close. I don't know if you'll accept our kind offer. But then he looked at me and he said, Brian. And then he looked over at his fellow realtor and she's just shaking her head, yes. He says, so the two of you know each other? Yeah, as a matter of fact, we do. We really respect each other. This is good enough for me, Brian. I don't even need to look at any other offers. This is all good. I'm a retired truck driver myself. I had a whole fleet of trucks. And by the way, I've also had open heart surgery. What were the chances of that? So he just took the papers, grabbed the pen from his fellow realtor, and he said, I just have to sign here, right? He looked at his wife. She's shaking her head, yes, this is all good for us. Signed my agreement of purchase and sale and said, you better get over the emergency room. And then what was fun, I was reminded of that in some text this week from my client on Amherstburg, that I was actually still sitting in the emergency room the next day. And, they had pretty much gotten an idea what was going on with me, but we were still waiting for some testing and stuff. And so I was sitting in my chair there in the emergency room. And the next day, and I said, I got a real estate transaction in Amherstburg. I've got to go out to get a signature before it expires. Can I go ahead and leave the emergency room, drive out to Amherstburg? Am I medically cleared enough to go do that and come back and sit back down in my chair? And the cardiologist, he said, yeah, we're so tied up with, we have a overdose, that we're so tied up with that, Brian, that absolutely, yes, go take care of that. But make sure you do come back and sit back down in your chair. So I was reminded of that this week in a text. It's kind of funny, the part of the fun of real estate. But these things matter. Commission structures matter. It's the science of selling, which is what a degree is about. Going to university is about that. They teach you these things. Also, the whole of the theater of presentation, looking at a wall in my garage with this taped up isn't exactly the greatest of theater, but having the hand there that's being emotional, taking the tour of my garage, seeing that I'm one of those weird guys that actually has artwork sitting in my garage and what I collect, that's the theater of building that relationship with you. You get to know me as just a common guy. Boy, this guy's really, really frequently whacked out. And yes, I am. But I also enjoy life. So these things matter. When you're a seller, you're going to see more videos this week. Every video probably this week, other than the one, because I'm doing the market update next. But they will all be this way. Stop. And I'm making it my life's work. What you should be doing is you should be paying at least 2.5% to the competing realtor. And I'm going to show you the form that you sign to do that. You're going to know it inside and out. No hidden secrets. And then I'm also going to show you the market update. And you're going to see that, yeah, the difference was this past week was 13,000. Last week, the difference was almost 13,000 as well, too. If you're selling your house and the realtor comes in and says, yeah, all things being equal, I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to take some photos with my phone. I'm going to put it on the MLS and that's how we're going to get your house marketed. That's what we do. And oh, by the way, you know, we're from this great big brokerage that isn't really that big, but we're from this great big brokerage that's red, white, and blue, and we sell so many houses. Well, I really can't say that very much anymore because there's a lot of other brokers who are selling a hell of a lot of houses now. And Real actually has a far bigger market cap. They only have a $345 million market cap, and Real has a $1.2 billion market cap. So when they say, yeah, we sell more houses than anybody else, yes, they might. But they also have 143,840 realtors, where Real only has about 21,000 realtors now. And our market cap is 10 times bigger. Well, not 10 times bigger, but bigger, far bigger. We're producing that much more. We're actually almost profitable. Whereas they're still losing a hell of a lot of money, and they've been in business for a very, very long time. The question becomes, will they be able to stay in business for a very long time at this negative profit center? Somehow in our society, eventually companies that lose money will just have to go bankrupt. But because money's free right now, there's all this opportunity for companies to keep borrowing money. Shooting videos about borrowing money and how that also screws up your life planning too. I'm making that my life's mission as well. We need to hear these things. We might not be able to implement them, but at least we know them that because we heard them someplace. So thanks for watching this video. And again, you're going to find out there's more videos to come about this particular topic. Have a great day. I'm going to get out of my garage. I'm going to go in and I'm going to shoot this week's market update video in my office because I can do that a little bit less impassioned, a little quieter, so that I don't end up waking up my spouse who's taking a nap right now. We have a decent sized house. It's 1,350 square feet. But my voice from time to time does carry, especially when I get very animated. So when I knew I was going to be animated with this video, I came out here into the garage. So I'll go into my office, shoot this week's market update. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. You have any questions about Windsor Real Estate? You have any questions about Game 3? You have any questions? Watch the next videos. You're going to understand that. And if you're thinking about selling your house and you want to hire a realtor with great working relationships with other realtors, who's going to help and guide you to get the most for your house, then give me a call, 519-995-6145, 519-995-6145. If you know anybody buying a house who wants to get a special deal, then I will represent them too, and we'll go out and look at all of these houses. There's lots of them. And we'll buy one of these houses to get them a special deal. It will be less than the 2.5 houses. That'll get them a special $13,000 off. And they can give me a call today at 519-995-6145. Be more than happy to help them too. So thank you for watching so far. Sorry to be so animated about this particular topic, but it just drives me nuts to see everybody struggling, going to Walmart to do their groceries now, ad matching at Walmart because, Brian, hey, I can save 12 cents. And 12 cents does matter in today's society now. But then when it comes time to sell their house, oh, no, let's just go ahead and do this. Who cares about the $13,000? Who cares? Doesn't matter. And my whole point is go out and buy all the fruits and vegetables from the regular grocery store that doesn't go bad that you want to go buy and spend the 13 cents a week more. That way you don't have to go to Walmart if you don't want to. I kind of like going to Walmart sometimes. And instead, when you go to sell your house, make it all back by listing it at 2.5. It'll be so much further ahead. And you'll have so much better fruits and vegetables that won't go stale in your refrigerator in 2 days. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Give me a jingle if I can help.